Hi everybody. I'm here to talk to you today about here what you see is John Wooden's Pyramid of Success. John Wooden, I was reading this book. It's called The Essential Wooden: A Lifetime of Lessons on Leaders and Leadership. It's a book John Wooden wrote. If you don't know John Wooden, he was a famous coach, NCAA basketball coach, won national championships, coached some of the really good players that in history, and one of the great players that he coached was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So I'm going to explain to you, take the time to explain to you his pyramid of success. So John Wooden's pyramid of success begins down here on the bottom here in this bottom row. Okay, he calls this the first tier. And he says that the two cornerstone characteristics that he developed over the course of his career, this is what he developed over his career, this whole chart here of necessary elements that any team or any business has to have to be successful. Anything where there's going to be like a group of people trying to work towards a common goal or achieve a goal, these elements or characteristics are going to have to be present for it to be successful, would be great. The two cornerstone characteristics that he talked about are, this is industriousness. And he says industriousness is, he equates that with work. Rolling up our sleeves and doing the work. He says there's no substitute for industriousness. If we're not willing to roll up our sleeves, then we're not willing to really do what we have to do to be successful. He also talks about enthusiasm, which is one of the cornerstones. Basically, that amounts to what he said was, you have to like what you do and your heart must be in it. If you don't like what you do and your heart's not in it, then your group is not going to be successful. Okay, friendship. He says friendship. We must work on nurturing team relationships. We must, as a leader, we must display genuine care for those that we supervise, our players, our other coaches, and we must work on also getting the coaches to have genuine care for each other, and for the players to have that, or people working for us to have that same mentality. So that's friendship, working on team relationships. Loyalty. He mentions the golden rule. He says, as a leader, if we don't betray our team, most times they won't betray us. So he talks about you have to give loyalty to receive it. So it's basically what you give to the person, they'll give back to you. So be loyal, don't betray your team. Cooperation. Okay, so working together to create a masterpiece. He talks about if you only had one finger, how hard would it be for you to create a masterpiece? But all five fingers working together can create a masterpiece much easier than one finger working by itself. Okay, so cooperation. Once again, the bottom tier, industriousness, friendship, loyalty, cooperation, enthusiasm. And the two cornerstones of the bottom tier are enthusiasm and industriousness. Okay, once we're able to create these, then that helps us to move up to this next tier. Okay, and the first one he talked about was, this is self-control. Okay, self-control. It says the leader must first be able to control himself. Okay, you must be able to control your emotions and situations. And you also must help your team to be able to build self-control in tough situations, in all situations. And this is the mark of consistency when you're able to build control. So you have self-control, alertness. He said this is mental quickness, keen awareness. This is about being observant. This is about seeing trends. This is about being able to spot weaknesses very quickly. Don't let things fester. It's about always watching, always, walk around that house. Walk around the perimeter of your house. Checking to see what's going on at all times so you can spot if a hole's growing in the side of the house, you can fix it quick so it doesn't get too big. Alertness, initiative. Have the courage to act. A leader must have the courage to act. You must be willing to risk failure. If we're not willing to risk failure, then we're not really going to be able to get over that hump. So we have to be able to have the courage to act. We have to have the courage to stand alone. Okay, and this last block here on this tier is intentness. Ability to stay the course, no matter how fearsome it looks. He talked about having will here, having the courage to see your will through. Okay, so once again, self-control, alertness, initiative, intentness. Let me go up to the next tier. Condition. Okay, this is mental, moral, and physical character. He talks about condition is building character. Okay, none of this occurs if we don't have the character. Okay, the next one, skill. Skill, he said, was the thorough knowledge of how to execute responsibilities. Thorough knowledge as a leader, how to execute your responsibilities as a leader. Your other leaders, your other coaches, or other managers, or whoever must know how to execute their responsibilities. And your team must have the skill we must impart in the team the skill to execute their responsibilities all times. He talks about leaders being lifelong learners. We must continue to be willing to learn. Okay, team spirit. Here's team spirit. Sacrificing personal interest for team good and greatness. So sacrificing individual stats, individual glory, basically for the team to win. That's more important than just an individual stat. Okay, so next tier, poise. This is poise. No posing or pretending. You must be comfortable in your own skin. Confidence. Knowledge that your entire team is ready. From you to your coaches, to your players, to the trainer, to whoever. Everybody's ready. The bus driver, the entire organization is ready. We're confident. Because you have taken care of all this stuff, you have confidence that everything is going to be okay. Okay, competitive greatness at the top. If we do all these here, we will come to competitive greatness. That's being able to perform at your best when needed. He said, when is your best needed as a leader? He said, daily. When is your best needed as a player? Daily. So when is your coach, when are your assistants need? Daily. They need to be able to perform the things that they need to perform every day. Okay, we must love the sense of battle, the sense of being in a hard battle. We must embrace that. Okay, two other characteristics that he said he developed over the years also were on the side here. You can see faith and patience. He says faith is just believing that if you follow the process, the things will eventually work out. Okay, patience, we must have patience. It's just like he said, he used an example of a farmer. When they plant crops in the spring, they know that those aren't going to be instantly come out. It's going to take time for that harvest and that's the same thing with when you come into an organization. It's going to take time. It's going to take time for success. Okay, then at the top, we have success. Okay, if we do all this stuff here together, we will have success. Okay, this is John Wooden's Pyramid of Success. He was once he's a legendary NCAA basketball coach and leader. Hope you got something out of this. Leave a comment for me in the comment section about how you have used this or your thoughts about this. Thank you.